Okay, hey everyone, welcome to our December team call. We're super excited to have a joint team call with Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie, for being on with us tonight. Super fun. So by way of introduction, I'm Megan Goff. I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus. I know since this is a joint team call, I'm going to share a little bit of my story just for Jamie's teammates, so we kind of have some common ground. So I was introduced to Plexus 4 years ago and said, no way, no thank you. It looks like an MLM and it looks like weight loss. 18 months later, I said yes, simply because I understood more. I tracked that Plexus was about gut health and about overall health and wellness, and that intrigued me. I was a supplement snob who really valued supplementation, and working with a naturopath and then transitioning over to Plexus just made so much sense because the Plexus supplements were more comprehensive and less expensive than what I was using. So I said goodbye to my gut issues, decades worth of sugar cravings, brain fog, restless leg syndrome, a bunch of different things. Basically, it's my mom fuel. I truly believe that God meant for us to be running on 100%, not on just a couple of cylinders. And to me, Plexus supplements are so worth it. Even if the business was not here, I would still use these supplements and I would still tell everyone I know about these supplements because they have literally changed my life and changed so many people's lives. And even if someone is only interested in fitness, wellness, things like that, they don't have huge things wrong with them, everyone can still benefit from healthy supplementation. So I wanted to welcome all of the new ambassadors. If you are a brand new ambassador, we wanted to welcome you to our monthly team call. If you're like I was, you might be a little disappointed in this call because I'm not going to talk about products. That was the main thing that I was only curious about when I started Plexus. I just wanted to be fed lots of information. And I'll just say there's so many great videos and product information. We're doing our 7-day challenge starting tomorrow, so there's going to be a lot of product information in there. So I'll just say this business works because the products work so well. And I was reflecting today and thinking how thankful I am for what we have in Plexus. The next 3 years are projected to be the biggest growth in Plexus. And I want to ride that curve. I want to be one of those wave riders in Plexus. And I was thinking how awesome that we get to work with our best friends, that we get to vacation together, that we get to share game-changing products with our family and friends, people that we love, that we get to grow in leadership, that we get to learn. I mean, in so many ways, like Plexus is just so unique. I've never done any other businesses like this before, but Plexus is just so unique. The more people I talk to, I'm just like, wow, I'm so thankful that God directed me to Plexus, because if it was anything else, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't sell other things, but because of what this is, I can share this. So, this is another thing that I was thinking is now more than ever, we should share this business opportunity. Why be embarrassed? This is such a game changer for people. If you guys didn't listen to Amy Paul's Facebook Live on her wall, go listen to it. It's amazing. She will pour belief into you. And it's like, duh, why am I not sharing this more with every single person? This makes so much sense. And so our goal, Justin and I were talking about this, and our goal is for us as a team and us as one Plexus, okay, all teams together, is to be more encouraged, to have more sustainable businesses, more sustainable growth, and be more successful in 2018. And so I would just invite you to evaluate. Okay, I have a couple truth bombs that I wrote down on my paper here. Is this industry is no different than any other industry, and success in this industry boils down to work. Put in the effort, put in the hours. It will pay you like you've put in those efforts and those hours. I know I would just say, encourage you guys, if you feel like you're not growing, you're stuck or whatever, I would just ask you, are you working? Are you working this like a hobby or working it like a business? I mean, we have so much time freedom in this. It's almost so free. It's hard to be consistent. And so I just encourage you, stay consistent. Angie Thompson and I and Justin and Carrie, we all did an event locally. She's the first diamond in Illinois. She told us that she and her husband went Emerald in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what else she said, because all of us think, oh, wow, 5 months? Whoa, she must be lucky. Nope. 2 to 3 in-person events per week for 5 months. Am I doing that? No. Did it take me 5 months to get to Emerald? No, over double that. But I wasn't working that hard. So the more time and effort in talking to people that you invest in this, the more return it's going to give you, the faster success you'll have. And I would just say network marketing is the ultimate lifestyle. It is the great equalizer. Justin and I were talking about this. Where else can you go where your degree or educational background doesn't matter? What you look like doesn't matter. What you, like so many things that other jobs or other industries require, network marketing doesn't require. Network marketing requires that you have some people skills, some basic people skills, and love for people, and obviously a love for whatever you're sharing with people, right? So my question for you, this is another good little quote. I'll say, the $1 million dream will not happen with a minimum wage work ethic. I liked that quote. It's like, wow, that's a truth bomb. Okay, so you can write that one down. So here's my question. What will 2018 look like for you? It starts and ends with me. It starts and ends with you. We get to determine that. And so now, I mean, the law of navigation is we are looking forward. We're not waiting until January 1st to think, oh yeah, what do I need to do in my business? No, we are at the top of the month before the biggest month of the year in not just network marketing, but health and wellness in general. And just in general, January 1 is like fresh start, time to do over all those things. So what will 2018 look like for you? Start thinking along those lines. Do you want to rank? Do you want to, what is it, maybe time freedom for you? Maybe you want to double your income. What does that look like? Okay, start thinking about those things. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of what I was going to share. I put a post on a Jewel page, I think it was probably in September, right after we got back from Hawaii. And I just asked the question, hey, is there anyone in here who was silver or gold last year that ranked to Emerald by July 31st? And Jamie piped up, and I remember we kind of chatted a little bit, and then she was at leadership training with Justin last month. And so there's another connector point. And so I invited her to share her journey, her story, what she did exactly to gain quick success and quick momentum. And so I'm just going to turn it over to Jamie. Jamie, thank you so much for being on the call tonight. We're so thankful and appreciative. It's always nice to have a fresh perspective and a new story.
Thank you, Megan. I like earrings. I'm wearing the same earrings. Yeah. So thank you guys for everyone jumping on tonight. And I just want to say, even as Emerald, like this is an area of growth for me, is getting out and talk more. It's getting easier. I am somewhat introverted, so this is good for me. So, and if anybody has any questions, there's a comment box. Feel free to enter comments, and I can answer them at the end. So, when I was reflecting on what has helped me be successful, I went from 14 months. Besides having an incredible team, and I have some amazing friends that have jumped on with me, it just came down to the basics. And I was just thinking, okay, I reached out, I followed up, I was consistent and passionate and grew myself, and that's it. So I'm like, well, I can't just talk about, those simple things, but it is that simple. So hope that I can add value to you guys tonight. But when it really boils down to it, like Megan said, it just comes down to doing the work. Success boils down to just doing the work, being self. So a little bit about myself. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I've worked in an outpatient orthopedic center for almost 10 years. And several years ago, I started to become very ill. So prior to Plexus, very healthy. I've always exercised. I've been a fitness instructor intermittently through since college. I always been so passionate about health and wellness. I started to get really sick. Now I know I had a high fever I had been bitten by a tick. For those of you that don't know what Lyme disease is, that I live in the Northeast and Northeast North America, and the population here is growing to be one of the top in the world. It's a huge problem where we live, and I think, it's an epidemic, or not just an epidemic, it's a pandemic, but it's a big issue. So long story short, I started to get really sick and didn't know what was going on, started having fainting episodes and skin rashes and exhaustion, and I got to the point where I couldn't go to work. My husband had to do everything for our child, help me in the bathroom. I couldn't stand up without fainting. There was talk of a pacemaker. It was just really crazy. So I ended up out of state. I went to a top hospital, spent thousands and thousands of dollars, found out Lyme disease, and was treated by an incredible infectious disease who was previously only focused on traditional, prescription medication, but his daughter had Lyme, so he had branched out and started doing his own research. But anyway, so he was very helpful. He treated me. It really, really helped, but then I was still struggling. I went to a naturopath, tried many different things, spent many thousands of dollars, and just was really frustrated. I was so healthy and so passionate about life, and just couldn't. It was really hard to function and just go to work. So I had gotten down on my knees and I just prayed, and I prayed for healing and I prayed for strength. Either one. I said, I need strength to live, or, some sort of healing. And I, insert plexus. Like Megan, I immediately said, I don't need this. I don't need to lose weight. I mean, yeah, but that was not my focus at all. It took me several months. The one that I signed up with, I didn't know she was a stranger. She kept following me, and what really got me to give it or have an open mind was that she sent me testimonies, and I kept binge watching them. And I called her and I said, send me ingredients, research them, and I started the products. And within a couple months, my skin, I had these chronic skin rashes, and they were pretty much gone. I started having more energy. I started sleeping better. These products started changing my life when nothing else worked. I had just done everything you can imagine. So I am just such a believer in these products. And I started the products in February, started sharing end of April. I went silver right away. I made a list of friends and family that I thought could benefit from the products. Gold in May, senior gold at Leaders Retreat, ruby in February, senior ruby in March, and then emerald in June that following year. So it wasn't until it was more of like, who can I help with the products, because they are so life-changing at first. And I think it was about gold to senior gold that really caught that vision. I knew nothing about network marketing, but my first paycheck had a comma in it, and I thought, is this legal? Like, is this? Yeah, that's when I started to understand the comp plan, and so I said, wow, these are life. They had helped my husband too. He had jumped on board right away. It had taken care of his heartburn. He stopped drinking coffee all afternoon. He evening, and then he started playing basketball at night, and so just really changed our family's lives. But so it was at that point I caught the vision, and you know what, these products are changing people's lives, and this compensation plan is like nothing I've ever seen. And so I circled on my calendar, I think it was at Leaders Retreat, Emily Finnell. I don't know if you know Emily Finnell. She's a diamond. She's my direct diamond upline. She had passed out these stones to us at Leaders Retreat, and one of mine said strength. And so she said, I want you to bring these to Hawaii next year. So I went home from Leaders Retreat. I circled on my calendar. I made a dream board, and I just started praying, who needs these products? Who needs this business? Use me to help people. And I just set goals and just started working towards them. So my why, your why, we always talk about your why. And for a long time, I was like, what is my why? When we all need a why, and our why is going to evolve. So I am continually reassessing that. And we need to writing these things down and sharing them with, friends or a sponsor or family. Started for personal health, and then it evolved to wanting to help friends and family get healthier. And then I had this aha moment that, side note, this is what I had prayed for. So probably getting sick, I was very confident in my job and my skill, working in, I also had a lot of insecurities and a lot of confidence issues. And I've always been a people pleaser. And my prayer that, prior to this, that somehow I would be changed and evolve into a more stronger, more confident person. And so I've been struggled with that, and then anxiety my whole life. And just always was really hard on myself. Like, I can do things better. Just that kind of thing. So I never felt like I was good enough. I felt like I needed to be better. So I knew that I needed a mindset shift and personal growth, but I didn't have the energy or time to do that. And so I feel like Plexus not only has, changed my health, but it's caused me to do so much personal growth that just made me into a completely different person. And I am just happier, and it's just incredible. So one more thing, I was also praying for change in work schedule. So I loved my job, but after I was sick, I just didn't feel like I could that same pace and that same, day. And so that was another prayer, is I need to do something different. My husband runs full business, but like everyone else, we needed two incomes. I had, graduate loans, and I had spent thousands and thousands of our savings and medical bills and things like that. And so it was just an answered prayer. I spent 9 years studying college, and I doubled my part-time income in 14 months, and it was just unbelievable. So things that, things that really helpful to me, identifying that why, setting a vision and creating a plan and taking action. So to make a vision, I made a dream board, and I wrote scriptures, and I encourage my team to create a toolbox for yourself. So sometimes a roller coaster, sometimes you're in like big momentum, and then sometimes you feel like everyone's quitting, and you start to doubt yourself and doubt the products. And actually, I never doubt the products, but people tell me, they feel like they're in a roller coaster. And I would say, get off the roller coaster and box for yourself. Listen to something that inspires you every single day. Listen to something that you can learn about the business or the products every single day. And make a vision for yourself. So, create that toolbox, plug yourself in, ask questions, reach out to people. I know when I joined, my sponsor had just 6 months prior, and I quickly was at the same playing field as her. So I didn't feel like I ever had the leader to pour into me that, and so you have to be your own rock star and be your own leader, and then find people in the company that you connect with and relate to. Because even if you don't have that in your sponsor, or, their sponsor, or, we have an amazing team. We have some amazing sidelines, and I've learned a lot from my team. I have many rock stars in my team that I just admire and respect, and just, you can learn from each other. So I found people in the company. Brooke Hemingway is one of my people that I love. I reached out to her. Sarah Marble, she was in healthcare. I would just reach out to people that I respected and connected to, and they responded back to me, and they were very helpful with answering questions and things. So I say, find some people that you connect with in trainings, and follow them and watch their trainings, and be your own rock star. I'm a big list person. Every Sunday night, I write my goals, reflect on what I did well during the week, what I didn't do well during the week, what can I do better. I'm a big list person. And if you're not, use a timer. I think when you're sitting down to do your work, I know for me, I've always struggled with just focusing. I always have a million things going on in my head, and so I have to write it down before I actually do it. Get yourself plugged in. I'll talk a little bit about this later, but the most successful people in anything in life are people that are lifelong learners. So plugging yourself in, and there's so many resources out there on YouTube. This company is full of incredible, inspiring people, and I really like Melissa Eichenhorst. I listen to her a lot too. But whatever whatever I would need to learn, I would literally Google on YouTube, what plexus and reaching out, or plexus and following up, and I would just constantly be reevaluating, like, what do we need to get better at? And then I would go watch videos about it and then ask questions. So the big picture is just that being consistent, reaching out, following up, and developing your passion and your belief for the company, network marketing, and yourself. I mean, all of these things can be, you can grow in. I'm a different person than I was a year ago. So being consistent. Brooke Hemingway talks about tap rooting, and I was trying to think of what that is. I found it helpful to be in contact with my downline. I want to know who's in my downline, not just my 1 through 3s. I mean, I do focus on my 1 through 3s, but if somebody is not being supported, so I would have smaller threads going on with all of my team. So when somebody signs up on our team thread with me, and I write them down in a notebook. If somebody wants this, I am plugged into them. I want people to feel included, excuse me, and plugged into our team. And so I'm always on the radar to who do I feel has potential, or who is showing themselves to be engaged, kind of going off on a tangent here, but so it all starts with getting your ambassadors kicked off on the right foot when they start. I always tell my team, we need to plug people in within the first 48 hours of when they sign up. We need to capitalize on their excitement. When we hit that join button, we all had this moment of what if, right? What if this could change my health issues? What if this could change my finances? We need to find out what that is and plug people in within the first 48 hours. And so we do that by starting those threads. I send them information, usually Brooke Hemingway's What to Expect video right away, and just get them, introduce on the team page, show them where the resources are, and then, call me when you get your products. So I like to plug people in right away. And people need training. This is something I'm really working on right now, at this point is, I've had some amazing people that just, hit the ground running, but 95% of people are not that kind of self-starter. People need training. People need to be shown what to do, where the resources are. We need to give our team the tools. And if we don't know, then we need to ask for help and learn ourselves. The 95%, our wholesale ambassadors, our silvers, our golds, our makeup are what makes up the heart of our team. So we need to be pouring into them. And if somebody's not showing that they're engaged, I think maybe it's not the right timing for them. If I see potential in someone, I will tell them, and I will just keep pouring into them. And if somebody, isn't showing that they're engaged, still love on them, still, pour into your top 20 percenters, I call them, but, still love on your other people, because you never know when they're going to turn around and share. And we want people to be successful, because that's what the business is all about anyway. So show people the way. We can't just expect people to sign up and know where to go. And, I tell everyone that the most successful people are lifelong learners, and I want them to be learning something every single day that's new. I already talked about that. So I like to also invite people to share right away. So even if they don't want to, then it's in their mind, and they're starting to think about it. So I've planted that seed. So when I'm signing somebody up, I will say, okay, now that you know the products can help with this, this, and this, who in your life do you know could benefit? If I gave you, the verbiage to say, would you reach out to them and loop them in with me? So I'm always having people loop new people or potentials in with me so I can help them, and then they can learn along the way. So I think really helping people to just start sharing. And we need to be proactive with that, because people aren't going to ask you. We need to say, here's the verbiage of what to say, or, here are the resources. We need to be proactive with that. Don't ask for them. Don't wait for them to ask you for resources, or, I think we need to just pour into people. And then don't give up on the ones that aren't interested. The next thing, I love to encourage my team. I feel like that's one of my strengths. I try to find the strengths of each people on my team, and I'm working on that too right now. But love on your ambassadors, pour into them, give them encouraging words. Everyone works harder and feels appreciated, when you're speaking, kind things about them. I just love to encourage people, make your team feel special, help them identify the qualities in themselves that will, make them be successful, and take a minute to speak from your heart and tune to what your team needs. And, you may have one ambassador, or you may have, hundreds of ambassadors. So if you're feeling like, hey, can I do that with all these ambassadors? Pour into the people that are wanting this, or that are working. You can still love on your other ambassadors, but pour into to your leaders. So building people up sincerely by telling them, the possibilities of their potential, and help build belief in them. So just a lot of encouraging, being consistent and accountable. I cannot stress consistency enough. I know that there are the IPA sheets out there, the reach out to 5, follow up with 3. That never worked for me. I did power hours every single day. And you guys, I know a lot of you probably work full-time, and I was putting in full-time hours too, but it is so worth it to make it work. I would reach out to people on the way to work. I would voice message. I would, if a patient went to the bathroom, I would pull up my phone out of the drawer. I shouldn't say this on the Zoom, but I would literally find every second that I could and try to do something. And then I would carve out time where my phone was turned off, where I could be present with my family, because I think we do need to put our families first. But it's going to feel, if you have big goals, it's going to feel like there's not a balance for a while. But I can tell you at this point, the time freedom is real. Like Megan said, the network marketing lifestyle is so real. Yes, you have to put in work to get where you want to be, but we have to do that anywhere in life. And so I feel like being consistent, and if you need help with that, go to your sponsor, or go to pair up with someone, find a power partner. We can't do this alone. I utilize my team and my sidelines and, so many people in this company to grow, because we don't have all the answers. There's a book called Strength Finders that's really good that I recently read. And we all have different strengths, and we need to find strengths on our team and work together as a team. So being accountable is hard sometimes. I totally get it. It's hard when you have so many other things going on in life, but if you can make this a priority, then you're really going to achieve your goals that way. Accountability really helps us measure what makes us successful and what we need to work on. So it helps us avoid making excuses. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't do excuses. Excuses, and there's always a solution. And I think having someone to talk that through with is helpful. Being accountable helps us focus on what we need to do to be successful, basically. So I do that through lists every single day. Like I just write down a list, and if I don't get to it, then I give myself some grace and I just carry that list on to the next day. So have a meeting with your shareholders. So if you have a family at home, or have a meeting with your shareholders and explain, the reason why you're doing this and what you're doing. Because if we can get our family involved, and that's what I did with my husband and my son, this is important to me for our family, and these are the reasons why. And when you make your dream board, you can put things on, for your family on there so they can see that, I'm doing this for, not only to help and change lives, but for our family as well. And this is why. If just having that support is so important. I think I talked about the dream board. I always do dream boards. I've been doing them more on my phone now. I write down goals to help yourself be accountable. If you don't write it down, then you're not going to really have a proper evaluation with, of how you're doing. So I know in the past, if I've, let's say, trying to think of an example, I've had people that are trying to lose weight, and I'm saying, okay, well, use the MyFitnessPal app. And I've had so many people say, wow, I didn't realize I was eating that much, or, not drinking enough water. Or I think if we don't write it down, we don't really understand the true picture. Like for me, if I don't write it down, I haven't read a personal growth book in a while, or maybe I'm not doing enough training, or maybe I didn't reach out to as many people as I thought. So I think just always writing that down. There are those IPA sheets. I can share with Megan what I use. I don't do the 5-3-1 like I said, but I have a different format I can share. So if you want to get somewhere, understand, you got to understand where you're going and hold yourself accountable for that. And just understand the sacrifice, that the time that you're willing to try, the amount of times you're going to get out of your comfort zone. We only grow when we get out of our comfort zone. And understand that, when you are setting accountability and goals for yourself, that your activity needs to align with those goals. I had a team member recently, and she said, I really want to be Emerald. I want to be where you're at. And I'm like, okay, how many ambassadors did you add last month? And let's break this down. Okay, my team added 3. Okay, so what do we need to do to, increase that? So we just sat down and had that conversation, and let's align your activity with your goals. I mean, you can dream big, but, if you need help with that, just, go to your sponsor or a sideline. So I think that was really helpful too. And some people just need that help on our team. They know what they want, but they just don't know how to get there. And I'm talking a lot. I'll try to finish up. So the last thing I was going to say is having belief and influence. And so at Jewel Training, they talked a lot about belief and influence. And for the longest time, I'm like, how do I help people build belief and build influence? That was a struggle that still I'm working on that. I think belief is so important from the beginning, and mindset. If you have a mindset like, I'm going to achieve my goal, then you can do it, because the steps are just going to fall into place along the way. I also tell my team, this is like steps. Like, you may not know your next step, but through prayer and through consistent work, that next step was always revealed to me. And sometimes it would be overwhelming. Like, I don't know, how I'm going to get there. But I would just pray. I would pray so much. Like, God, reveal that next step for me. Like, I know that you have a plan for me, and I want to carry that out. So what does that look like? So, we all have different faiths, but, use that, use your tools to build your belief. We need belief in ourselves. You need belief in network marketing. You need belief in the company. You need belief in the products. And you can do that through plugging yourself in and listening to testimonies, listening to training videos, reading books. These things can be built, and we need to instill belief in people when they first start, because they don't have the belief that we have. they don't see the hundreds of lives that are being changed, like those of us who have been in the company longer period of time. So we need to really help them do that. So I would say give yourself grace for where you're at right now. Take the time to reevaluate what you want out of this. That is so important. We can't get to a destination if we don't know where we're going. We need to, find that destination. Write it down, make a dream board, share it with someone, tell somebody, have faith. And, like I always say, pray incessantly. Have faith in yourself and know that you will never know all the answers. But being a lifelong learner and plugging yourself in and eliminating excuses will take you far. Be consistent with your personal growth, your own IPA. So you're reaching out and you're following up and learning every single day. Take action and believe that, when you have momentum, or take action when you have momentum and when you're in funk. Emily Finnell said this morning, she went live on her team page and she was talking about, being in a funk is not a bad thing. It's a great time to reflect and grow. Like I hit Senior Ruby and just kind of not lost confidence in myself, but just I'm like, can I do this? Can I be this leader? And we all go through periods. How do I say this? We're all going to grow when we need to. Some of you fly to the top and grow. You go to gold and then you need to grow. Some of you are not even getting to gold because you need to grow. So if you're stuck, evaluate why and where do you need to grow to get to the next level. So I think that's all I had. Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay, awesome.
Hopefully that was helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a couple ideas now. I think we should make dream boards for 2018. I think that'd be an awesome kind of fresh start. So be thinking of that. I'll probably make something, I don't know, prize post or something for us all to kind of revamp. I have gotten to a couple points in my journey where I was like, what is my why? Because we've kind of achieved the goals that we set out. So I need to make some bigger ones. And so I think that's a natural part of this process, and also writing the goals so that you can create a map for yourself to understand where you're going. So I totally tracked with actually everything you said. I took lots of notes because yes, we are lifelong learners. Always be learning. So Justin's going to have he's going to actually share a couple of things that he has been thinking about in terms of rank ups. Who wants to rank up in 2018? Or who wants to rank up this month? Some of you are planning to rank up this month. So he has a couple of things that he wants to share.
Yes. We're not going to be very long, so that's a good thing. Everybody's got things to do. Jamie, thank you so much for sharing. That was great. And but I wanted to just share a couple really simple things about what we're thinking about and how things are going to look come the rest of December and starting in 2018. So the first thing is, I'm just going to go ahead and say it now, is that in 2018, that is the year that one team becomes a multiple diamond team. I'm not talking just me. I'm talking more than myself. This is the year that 2018 is the year of one team, and Jamie's team too. I don't know if you have a team name or not, but there's so much opportunity, and I have so much confidence in the company. I have so much confidence in the direction we're going. I have so much confidence in the products, in the compensation plan. I have so much confidence in this team that this next year is going to be awesome. It's going to be the best year yet. And not only is it going to become a multiple diamond team, it's going to be a multiple jewel team. There's going to be tons of rank ups this year. There's going to be new people that are going to, like a rocket ship, sail to the top, and some people that have been stuck for a while are going to take off again. Mm-hmm. That opportunity is there. And I just want to say that Megan and I are committed to your success. So whatever we can do to help, we're willing to do. And we've kind of been doing a lot of evaluating lately, and there's a few things that I don't know, we're kind of wanting to change the culture a little bit. We're wanting to make some changes. We're constantly evaluating ourselves. We never have ever thought that we've arrived, and we have a lot to learn. There's always new wrinkles, always new ways to get an edge. There's always new people to take advice from. So one of the things that we're going to do, and one of the things you're going to start seeing, since like I said, we're committed to your success, and one of the things you're going to start seeing is opportunities for more coaching calls. I think that's something that we haven't done necessarily consistently. I mean, we've talked, there's threads, there's different things, but purposeful business-only coaching calls where we look at the numbers of what's really going on with you, what's going on with your team, what's going on with recruitment, PV, new ambassadors, how many new ambassadors are actually silver and above, and we're just going to let the numbers tell us where we're at. It's not an emotional thing. It's just a realistic thing where we look at the numbers don't lie. And from there, we're going to deal with goals. We're going to deal with fears. We're going to put together a specific plan for you to help you meet those goals and help you to accomplish your why, so you can come up with a new why and just check things off the list. So be prepared. There's going to be more coaching calls, more, like I said, purposeful coaching calls coming up. Several of you have got a list of 6 questions from me already that you're sending back to me, and I'm excited to get started with you on that. One thing I want to mention real quick, I want to mention something specific about the coaching calls here in light of promotion and how we're going to try to change the culture of promotion on our team and how we promote. But before that, I want to say right now, January 1 is right around the corner, and that is January 1st or 2nd is probably the busiest day at gyms across America. This is like the health and wellness day. It's like the health and wellness holiday of the year. I like to go to one of our local gyms. The first few weeks of January is the worst time to go to the gym because everybody is there. About January 20th, you can find a spot again. So about 20 days, but people know that they don't feel good. People know that they need to make a change to their health plan or develop one for the first time ever. They're going to make a lot of goals. They're going to make a lot of resolutions. And January is a really great time for the health and wellness industry. So keep that in mind as we're going forward. But the time to recruit in January is October, November, and December. That's when we're planting seeds, and right now is the time to be planting seeds for the January, February, March, April, May harvest. Mm-hmm. So just because times are slow, and these last few months of the year are typically slow months, just because time is slow, just keep in mind that you're planting seeds and the harvest is coming. January through May is a great recruiting time, and so don't grow weary in well-doing just because people are busy and not responding to you, and now's a bad time because January 1st is around the corner. So stay encouraged and keep planting seeds. One thing in light of those coaching calls, I'm just going to mention this real quick. One of the things we're wanting to somewhat change on the culture of the team is this, and this is a work in progress, by the way. This is not gospel. This is something we're working on. So if you have ideas, we're open to talking about that. But one of the things I want to talk about is promoting and how we promote. Something is, in light of promotions, it seems like somewhere along the line we've got to a point where we promote, and then it's natural to fall back the next month in light of points. And it's natural to fall back in light of points the month after promotion if we promoted in an unsustainable way. What I'm saying is a lot of times when we're looking to promote, I think we look at and ask the question, well, or we say something like, I have enough people to promote, which means I have enough white lines to re-engage and incentivize so I can get points for that month and promote, but those aren't sustainable points. Does that make sense? I think and I'm not saying we shouldn't engage white lines. I think we should, because we want them engaged. We want them on the products. We want them to work their business. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but that shouldn't be our number one go-to tool for promotion. That should not be where we get the bulk of our points. The bulk of our point, we shouldn't be asking, we shouldn't be saying I have enough people. We should be saying I have enough points to promote, because that's sustainable. That's when you promote, you check it off the list, you change your goal to the next rank, and you keep moving. We don't promote, fall back, get discouraged 3 months, try to get back to rank again, and then set the goal. That's not healthy. It's discouraging, and it just does something to you when that happens. It's a discouraging thing. So I don't want people to be discouraged. I don't want to be discouraged. So we're looking at more effective ways to promote. We're looking at more of a sustainable way to promote. So first and foremost, if we want to promote, the number one tool we have for promoting is recruitment and points. And that's something that has to become the culture. And that takes just what Jamie said at the beginning of what she was talking about. She reached out and she followed up. That's what she did. And I know it sounds boring. I know it doesn't sound really sophisticated, but honestly, that's what it takes. And so the culture needs to become where we just do the simple things, and we do them over and we do them over and we do them over. That needs to be our number one tool for promotion, is points and recruitment. So that's the first thing I want to look at for promoting. The second thing, as far as getting points for promotion, is customer upgrades. Now, this is something that doesn't work if we put a plan together the same month you're wanting to promote, which I think this is why the coaching calls are going to come in handy, because we're going to be able to develop a promotion plan, a month, 2 months in advance. That way, the month before we're looking to sustainably promote, we can be upgrading customers that month. Happy customers that can become ambassadors. That's one way to get sustainable points. The third way to get sustainable points for healthy promotion is, instead of incentivizing white lines, if you think about this, if we incentivize white lines, we're going to pay money to someone to order a product who we know is not going to order the product the next month. We're going to get 5 points 1 month, and the next month those points go back down. So instead of incentivizing the white lines first, why don't we incentivize the new ambassadors first who want the business? That's more of an investment, because you're investing in someone who says they want the business, rather than investing in someone who has said over and over that they don't want anything to do with Plexus, but they'll help you out because you're giving them a good deal on the white line. Does that make, so incentivize a new ambassador. Once they get their welcome pack, if they want to go with the business and they want to get started, then incentivize them. Have them order 100 PV over their welcome pack worth of samples. And incentivize that. That's more of a sustainable way of growth, in my opinion. And the fourth way to gain points, I think, for a healthy promotion is to know that the white lines that you're going to engage are temporary points.
So you have to leverage that.
I'm not saying don't, but if you're going to incentivize white lines, the incentivizing of your white lines cannot be more than what your recruitment is. Otherwise you're going to hit a rank and you're going to fall back. And there's nothing but discouragement with that. And
it's not the end of the world, though, either.
No, it's not. And sometimes maybe if you're at a deadline, maybe it's July 31st and you're going to go emerald, and this is the month you're going to push and become an emerald so you can go to Hawaii. Okay, I understand that. I'm not saying that's horrible, but it shouldn't be our culture to promote by incentivizing white lines. I just don't think it's healthy. I think it's can be a waste of money. I think it can be a real discouragement and a killer to momentum for a team. So we're just wanting to look at different ways to promote. We are going to promote on this team. It's going to happen. But we need to fall in love with not the product of promoting to the next rank. We need to fall in love with the process. Mm-hmm. And that's getting up every day and doing the things. That's the getting up every day and reaching out and following up. Once the process and doing those simple things becomes the culture of the team, the product of promoting to the next rank that'll just be a byproduct, if that makes any sense. So those are some of the things we're going to be working on, promoting in a healthy way.
White lines. So if you have white lines in your back office, I don't think that the back office is color coded currently.
Right.
But a white line simply means someone that isn't actively ordering, or maybe they order less than 100 PV worth. So they're not counting, not qualifying you for points. And so you have people that order Slim and Vital Biome and their PV is 97. So ordering even a trial pack would get them, to qualifying you for points.
Right.
Those people you can utilize if you're close to a rank up, but
Correct.
you just want to be careful with that. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, that can't be the number one go-to for points.
Right. Mm-hmm. So
needs to be
if you're gunning it for gold or senior gold or something like that, and you are a few people away, you just want to make sure that your team has added a good number of people so that the next month you don't drop below. That's all we're saying. Okay. Is that everything that you had?
I think so.
Okay.
That's about it.
Alrighty. Thanks so much, guys, for being on the call tonight. I did want to just tell you that I have a white line reach out message. If some of you have inactive people on your teams and you want to see some verbiage, Carissa Casey did a wonderful write-up of what she was going to send out to her people. So I'll probably make a post on the team page so you guys can just copy paste it and tweak it and email that out to some of your people if you feel like that would be helpful. Another thing I just wanted to say really quick, I was at Plateau to Emerald for almost a year. And the things that got me out of the plateau was I got mad enough to do something different because the results weren't, what I was doing was not giving me enough results in my own personal business and also on my team. My team was adding, we were growing, but it wasn't enough to get big growth like I wanted to see. And so Jessica Heffley challenged all of us people, all of her team at the beginning of the year, okay, you guys need to add 10 people. If you want to promote in 2017, she said you need to add 10 people, 10 personal level ones by the end of March. So I'm going to challenge you guys to personally sponsor 10 level ones by the end of February. Okay, so we have December, January, February. Okay, 3 months. And I made myself a personal goal that I wasn't going to just go do the bare minimum. I was going to go well beyond that. And my personal challenge was to add 10 per month. And by March, the 90-day rule came into effect, and I recruited almost 20 people that month. And this is over 2 years in this business, okay? And so what I did was full-on recruitment mode. I did that 90-day push, basically, in my own personal business. And then what I did was duplicate that into my team. I started hosting power hours. I started meeting with people face-to-face, doing some little team group coaching calls, whatever, chats, things like that. Get us in activity. Get the activity up so that we can achieve our goals. So that's my 2 cents on that. And I would just challenge everyone to recruit 10 new level ones by the end of February, and also try a new product. If you have just started, or maybe you haven't tried all of the Plexus products, try a new one. So those are my 2 cents.
One thing real quick, just to encourage you, is to keep going because I just had probably the most amazing meeting I've ever had in 2 years at Plexus today. Last week I had an internal medicine doctor locally who runs a center for healthy living gym at the hospital call me and say, hey, I've got some patients I think need to be on Plexus. So he invited me in today to his doctor's office. This is crazy. And he sat me down with one of his patients. He's like, well, just tell him about plexus. I'm like, this is strange. You know, this is so weird. He's got his white, like, robe, you know, or not robe. It's, I mean, his, you know, whatever. You call huh?
Dr. Coat.
Yeah, his white coat on, and he's like, hey, just so tell him about plexus. And then the doctor said, yeah, I'm on the probiotics. They're great. One of my nurses has me on them, but I want him to work with you. And he says, so tell him about plexus. And the guy, I told him about plexus. The doctor said, I think you should order plexus. And the guy said, well, the doctor said I should order it. What should I order? So we sign up.
There's some third-party validation.
And I'm like, this is odd. I've never talked to this guy, you know. And so be consistent. You know, we've been at this in this area of Illinois now for over 2 years. We're not slowing down. We're speeding up. I think we're starting to work smarter than we did it at the beginning, just in the way we post and approach people. So don't quit, because people are still watching.
People need it too.
It might be a doctor with a white coat who invites you into his office too. Who knows? So, anyway, be encouraged. Keep going.
All right. Thanks, guys, for popping on tonight. Thank you, Jamie, for sharing with us. I will upload this so you guys can share it with your people if they weren't able to hop on. All right. Have a great night, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.